Hola! Today I have another mate video for you. You're drinking out of my new gourd. And some new mate I got. I got a really good deal on some Pajarito, which is a Paraguayan mate. Really popular one over there. I got it for around $9 a kilo, but I had to get 3 kilos in order to get that price. So I do like it a lot, so I'm glad that I do. Otherwise I'd be drinking quite a bit of Pajarito. But yeah, I'll show you the actual herb. It's a Paraguayan cut, which is sort of like a cross between Argentine and Brazilian, where you still have whole leaves and stems, but you do have a lot of polvo mixed into it. So it's a nice best of both worlds thing. The flavor is sort of like that too. It's not as harsh as and kick you in the face as some of the Brazilian mates are. It's definitely not as powdery as those gauchos, but it's still has the light sweet flavor that the Argentines do, but without like without the same astringency, you know. But so it's basically a best of both worlds mix. So I have some right here that I will be throwing into this gourd. First, I'm going to give it a whiff. It smells really interesting, actually. Again, it smells like a mix between the two. It's like a perfect blend of the two two extremes of mate. Well, not extremes, because I guess the extreme on the gaucho side would be Shimharo, but it's like a perfect middle ground between the gauchos and the Argentines. I do almost get a bit of a musty smell, but it's not moldy. It's not bad mate. I would know. It still has a thick, creamy smell. Ow, something just got in my eye. Wait. It still has the thick, creamy smell that the gauchos do, but it has the grassy hay or wheat type smell the Argentines do. So yeah, I dig it. So we're gonna throw it in the gourd. See all the polvo going up in the air. And I did use quite a bit right there. As you can see, it's almost at the top, but whatever. I have a day off today, so I can indulge. The one problem that I have with this gourd is shaking is a bit hard because of the massive rim. I also dig this gourd because you can load up extra mate onto this rim, which I haven't done yet, but I might. Let me grab some dummy water. Okay, get yourself some room temperature water and fill up that hole. Yes, innuendo. But yes, fill up your water hole, your room temperature water. Then you let it sit, and we'll let that absorb. Doesn't take too long to absorb, because of all the polvo in there. But you don't want to make sure you let it absorb all the way, so it's easier to mold into the mountain. Because that's one thing I've noticed with this mate is like some of the other larger cuts, the Argentine cuts and such. It is easier for the mountain to fall apart on Paraguayan cut. But with the Brazilians, your bombilla tends to get clogged up, but it mountains up so nice. Because it's like clay. It's like you just molding clay around your gourd, so I like it, but you just gotta practice getting your bombilla unplugged. Okay, insert our bombilla right under the mountain. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little poll right now. Does anyone drink the dummy water out before they pour in their first? Oh, the truck drove by, like right outside my window. But does anyone drink their dummy water before they pour in their first steeping? I don't, just because I think it's kind of gross. But I mean I would, but if it's mate, I'll drink it. But oh yeah, let me know what you do if you ever do that. So I'm gonna fill up my first steeping. I don't know exactly what temperature this water is. It's not extremely hot. Okay. Now the first gourd won't be very foamy. Not until you get the wall built up. This mate is extremely smooth, and it's very creamy. It seriously, it'll taste like it's almost like coffee with cream, but a more mate taste than coffee. It's not extremely heavy. It slides, so it's just like butter, slides right off your tongue, really nice. But extremely smooth. Not quite as crisp at first as other mates are. There's a snowplow truck. But there we go. Nice and foamy. That's what I like to see. Now it is starting to get a little bit of an ashy kickback. Slight ashiness on the back of the tongue, but not bad. It's definitely not annoying or anything. It's just part of the flavor profile, and a slight salty flavor. Will that truck stop driving by? You've cleared the parking lot already. Okay, you can go. But it does have a slight salty flavor in the middle of the tongue, so. Which reminds me of Canarius. Canarius is extremely salty, in my opinion. I think my friend Frank said that too, at one point. But it still has the grassy taste, like the wheat taste, but it's a bit more toasted. It's like a toasted, that's how I describe it. It's like a toasted Argentine mate. It does mountain up very nice. Whew, and it is a quick mate. You feel the effects really quick. Like, I just started drinking and I'm already getting the little tingle in the back of the head. Computer screen just went dark. Okay, there we go. So instead of going on and drinking through like a whole liter right here and just sitting there for like 20 minutes, I'm just going to tell you what happens. It's not a very long cycle. A gourd of this size will probably last about 1.5 liters. If I pour a smaller one, it lasts about 1 liter. So it has a very short green tea phase, but not too long. I really do like that phase though. That's one of my favorite parts of drinking mate is that green tea phase, but it doesn't have too long of a one with Pajarito. It's like the flavor is like bam, and then it's like bam. That's a graph right there. Mathematically accurate. But yeah, that's all for Pajarito. I definitely recommend trying it. It doesn't get sour or anything. It's a good go-to mate. But yeah. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to keep up with my new content, new mate reviews, tea videos, all that crap. Yeah, that's it. Salud.